strategy was like this. There are harms inside local areas, but simply corporations are responsible for that. So for their side to win, they have to win in the principle level, right? They have to talk about why corporations in all scenarios do not have any responsibility or to actually compensate for the harms that they did, right? They gave us two reasonings. They first said they're not responsible because there are many other factors who are responsible for that. Second, they said, well, it was unpredictable. So let's look one by one. First of all, about how there are many factors that actually cause that. Yes, maybe local governments have a say, maybe people or individuals may have some responsibility, but we're talking about who is the main cause of this structural unemployment, right? Maybe local governments were some not so good, but we think that corporations affect local governments as well because they lobby them. They ask for less taxes so they don't have to pay so much, right? Or they pressure these corporations to not put in to not have competition in that area, right? So maybe local governments aren't that great, but we think the direct cause to that structural unemployment is these corporations, and that's why they have to compensate, right? But the main case was about unpredictability, right? How it's unpredictable. But recognize that there's a degree of unpredictability, right? Maybe like the Lehman shock is unpredictable, but there are things that are predictable, like slow recession or stagnation, or the stock going down, or productivity or efficiency not being so well, right? There are things that happen dramatically, and there are things that go gradually, right? So in their case, their principle only stands in Lehman shock, right? Where you cannot see it coming, and that's harmful, right? Recognize they're not fulfilling their entire burden. So on comparative, what did we talk about? We talked about in cases where they can predict, okay, it's their fault, but even if they cannot predict, we talked about how they have the responsibility because of the tremendous and extreme harm they provided to that community, right? We talked about how pollution is analogous, how maybe corporations didn't know that specific substance is going to create this specific disease. They didn't know that, but they still have to do that because they wreck people's lives, right? Or even exit tax is the same thing. They're harming the economy of that specific country, but we think to this extent, the reason why they have to pay more is simply because the degree of harm to people's lives is different, right? So if you look at it, in alt side, their principle only fits some scenarios where it's extremely rare, but in government side, we talk about in any kind of scenarios, these corporations have this responsibility to compensate for the harm that they did, regardless of whether they knew that beforehand or not. Second of all, let's compare the harms, right? From alt, we heard competition, capitalism, it's extremely severe situation. They'll lose. But we didn't really hear to what extent is it going to mutilate those corporations, right? Like, what happens when stock decreases a little bit? What happens when you have one inefficient factory in Bangladesh, right? We didn't hear so much harms or how that's going to actually harm people in the corporation. If it's going to harm them, it's probably going to be CEOs not having much money, or they're not going to get bonuses and whatnot, right? We don't really see the exact harm from this thing, right? But in comparison, we talk about how the structural unemployment literally wrecks people's life, right? Local government are paralyzed because they don't have any revenue from these corporations, right? We have people who are homeless. We have people who cannot put food on the table. They can't send their children to school. Local governments don't have money to, for example, fund public hospitals because the revenue all of a sudden went gone. They cannot provide schools, right? So even if if you compare that, it's kind of like a cliche comparison, but we don't really see so many people being harmed. We don't know the extent of harm. In the comparisons, people's lives are at stake, and we think that's something that should be prioritized. Second of all, let's compare the benefits, right? Government said, well, economy will get better, but recognize even if the economy get better, it probably doesn't help that poor woman who was employed by H&M in Bangladesh because the economy, the GDP got better, right? The direct people that are actually harmed by this motion are not solved. We talked about how this motion first incentivizes corporations not to leave because they'll change their structure, right? Because they cannot just all of a sudden leave and move to a different place. We think all the conditions are the same, right? But even if they do, if they gradually leave, it's easy for corporations or municipalities to actually have a plan about that. But lastly, even if they do leave, they said that it's really bad. It's better on our side of the house because at least governments have money to at least redistribute to the people, right? If you look at the comparison,